Well, hello everyone, it's Anya here. I'm working from home now, as we all are, and trying to come up with ways to continue providing the Bromley House experience despite being away from Bromley House. One of the things we're working on is ways to pick up the shortfall of the members' events we've had to postpone. Next week I was scheduled to run a drop-in session for anyone who wants advice on how to handle and read delicate books safely without damaging them. Of course, I can't run that session with our books in the library now, but we're aware that many of you probably have fragile books at home and may be wondering how best to read them. I'm therefore going to try and present Anya's DIY guide to handling old books from lockdown. I have a couple of more delicate books here to work with. This is the first one, a handbook of Greek and Roman coins by G.F. Hill, published in 1899. You can see that the spine is quite badly damaged, and that some of the pages are loose. In order to read this book, I would therefore want to rest it on a book cushion. Unfortunately, I don't have any book cushions in my house, so I'm going to substitute it with a pillow. I will try to make a dent on the pillow and then put the spine of the book into the dent so that I can then open it. Okay, I don't want to open it too wide so that the pages will stay at an angle and thus protect the spine from breaking any further. The book cushion is therefore a support for the book and a way of stopping the pages being opened further than they should be. A pillow is not as good as an actual book cushion since the pillow is too dense. A book cushion is stuffed much less thickly, usually with the sort of polystyrene balls that you get in a bean bag, and therefore it's more yielding, allowing more flexibility for positioning the book. The pillow will do for now though. Book cushions should be covered with a cotton cover, preferably unbleached and either a natural colour or dyed with a colour-fast inert dye. Much like a pillowcase, in fact. A 100% cotton pillowcase actually makes a very good cover for a book cushion. Now, if I want to read the book, I might find that the pages are lifting up, trying to close, making it difficult for me to read. In the library, I would use snake weights to hold the pages down, but since I haven't got any snake weights here at home, I'm compromising by using strings of beads. There we go. Necklaces to hold the book open. These will hold down the pages so that I can easily read the book. Snake weights are basically a chain of very small tablet-shaped weights enclosed in a cotton tube. They are flexible and versatile, just like a necklace. However, the cotton tube means that a snake weight has a smooth surface, unlike my necklaces. There are no links or wire to catch on the pages and potentially tear them. Also, the cotton surface is inert and won't damage the book, however long the weight is left in place. Brightly coloured plastic or wooden beads could react with the paper in all sorts of ways, which would not be good. Technically, I think you could probably make snake weights if you're good with a sewing machine. Make a very long, narrow tube of cotton and sew up one end. Then fill it with ball bearings or round beads and sew up the other end. Maybe that could be a future lockdown video, crafting hour, making your own snake weights. In the meantime, though, I will use my necklaces and just be careful of the pages. To add a little extra protection, though, I could slip some tissue paper underneath the beads. Maybe like so. In the library, we use acid-free tissue paper whenever we want to wrap or protect our books. Paper deteriorates naturally and produces mildly acidic substances. This is always happening within the books, but it can be made worse by putting them in contact with acidic wrapping materials. Acid-free tissue reduces this risk. Handily, much of the tissue paper used for wrapping commercial products is also acid-free, since they don't want to damage their products either. This piece of tissue came wrapped around a tunic dress, which I treated myself to last week. It arrived yesterday at the perfect time for seconding into my book handling video. So, using a pillow, some beads and clothing delivery packaging, I can now safely read my book on Greek and Roman coins. But how would I protect it on the shelf? To demonstrate this, I will use one of the Bromley House books which I happen to have at home. This is The Complete Smuggler by J. Jefferson Farjeon from 1938. This book is in a bit of a bad way. The spine is detaching and the cover is fraying. It will need a bit of love and attention from our book conservation volunteers when we get back into the library. While it is awaiting conservation though, we would normally tie it up with book tape. In the absence of actual book tape here at home, I have improvised instead with shoelaces. Book tape is broad, flat, unbleached cotton tape, specifically designed for tying up books. We usually use it when something has become detached from the book. If a book is tied up, you can expect that when you untie it, something might fall off. Sometimes one or both of the covers has come away, or the spine is flapping loose, or some of the pages are detached. The book tape holds it all safely together on the shelf and gives you a bit of warning that something might come loose when you untie it. Shoelaces are not as good as book tape, of course. They tend to be narrower, so don't provide such good support, and they are usually bleached or dyed, so thus might stain the book. However, they will do to demonstrate the principle. To read a book tied with book tape, we need to use our book cushion or pillow again. Make the dint for the spine as before, and place the book onto the pillow before you untie the tapes. Then undo the ties. And open the book as normal. This is a brilliant book, by the way. I thoroughly enjoyed reading this. It's great fun. Anyway, open the book as normal. Since it's already on the cushion, anything which is detached will have nowhere to fall and will stay with the rest of the book. When you've finished with the book, of course, you'll want to tie it up again. So make sure that all the bits are there and in the right place. Close the book, and then I find it easier to place it directly onto a table. Take your book tape and fold it in half. Oh, this is another problem with shoelaces. They tend to be stretchier and therefore more elastic than book tape is. So they ping around a bit when you're trying to work with them. So fold it in half and place the middle, where the fold is, against the middle of the spine of the book. Then open it up and pass one end underneath the book. Now this should give you two ends of approximately equal length. If it doesn't, take the tape off and start again, because you don't want to be pulling the tape around the book and flicking and damaging further at the corners of the spine. Then tie the tape in a simple bow. Knot and bow. There we go. Just get that right, there we are. Now the bow should be positioned against the edges of the pages, not against the cover or against the spine, because pressure there could do damage to the book. Now each book should have at least 2 tapes. There should never be just one tape on a book. And when you're positioning the tapes, you want to try and get them as close to the top and bottom of the book as possible, as that will provide the best support without any danger of warping or bending the spine. So I'll just tie the second one up here. Oh, this is always more difficult when someone's watching, even if it's just the video on my phone. There we are. So there's our book tied up with book tape with the knots against the edges of the pages near the top and bottom of the book. So that's my very ad hoc guide to handling and using delicate books without damaging. The equipment I've got in my home isn't quite of the archival quality we'd use in the library, but they do say necessity is the mother of invention, so we'll work with what we can get our hands on. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay tuned to your emails and our social media for more slightly unusual communications from the library in lockdown. Thank you.